Welcome back. Hey guys. Welcome to Blessings in the Journey Homestead. I'm trying to do a 1-year anniversary video, but no one wants to let me do it. Okay. We've been here for a year, living in a camper for a year.
Yeah! Yeah!
So you love living in a camper?
Yeah!
Are you serious? Because that is not the conversation we had earlier today. How much do you love living out here? Show me how much. Crazy. Kevin, did you know we've been living in the camper and the homestead for a year? A whole year?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I say good.
So proud of Kevin. He made it out in the middle of the creek. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about living in a camper and I guess kind of living off-grid, off-grid-ish. So this is our year anniversary. Yay! I tried to have other people doing this video with me, but they've all got things to do. So we have been out here almost a year, but we have been in our camper a full year. We, about a year ago, sold our house and moved into the camper. Yeah, 28 feet, 2 boys, then ended up with a girl. So it was 5 of us in 28 feet. And the rest of the time, it's been 4 of us in the 28 feet. Lots of interruptions. See what I'm saying? 28 feet is just not big enough. So we've been in the camper for a year. The very first week we moved into it, we took off and went to the beach. And it was like a vacation. So that was a fun way to break us into living in a house to living in a camper, I feel like. And then we actually parked on our lot where the old house was for quite some time because we had a month or so and we were still waiting for this. All this. We were waiting on that to like be under contract and to go through. So it was about end of September that we moved onto the land with our camper, I think. But when we moved, we actually moved back there near the woods, not up front. That was where we thought we were going to live at first. For a couple different reasons we moved up here. But we were back there at first, and I think we were totally off-grid for 5 months. Due to numerous interruptions, we are pausing this to finish the video inside so I can cook and record the video. So I'm just going to play some pictures in the background to give you entertainment of what living in a camper and living off-grid has been like for us while I talk in the background. Enjoy! So, like I've already said, the camper has gotten small. It has gotten smaller now than it was in the beginning. At first, it really did feel like a vacation. And we still have our moments where we feel like we're on a vacation. But more so now, it's like we're living our dream out here on the land and the homestead growing. We just don't have a house. And we also do plan to keep the back off the grid. We plan on taking the shipping container we have with our furniture and making that into a cabin that is off-grid back there. So here are the highlights and the lowlights of living in a camper. Yay, our 1-year anniversary. When I ask my kids what they think about it, they will tell you they are ready for a house, regardless of what they may have said when they're on camera. They are so ready to have a room. There's not much privacy in the camper. We have a couch that turns into our bed, which is wide open because it is also the kitchen, living room, dining room, bedroom, all mixed into one. And then the boys' bedrooms are behind curtains. They have bunks. So that has not been super fun, but in some ways it's been really good because we've been all connected together. We have had lots of learning experiences and memories with the 5 months off grid. Like, we had to work together to put in a well for water, which we didn't know at the time, but apparently you have to have a permit for things like wells and outhouses. We did not know that then. We found it out later. But we were working together really hard. Even now, washing clothes is a chore that takes the entire family, well, while my husband's gone to work. But like, the boys have to help me wash clothes because there's so much to it, or they're just like down there hanging out close by. All of the animal care is like a community effort, so we're all working together, which makes us closer, right? We are in routine in the camper of like when we have game nights and things like that. So there's a lot of living in a camper that does feel pretty normal. I would say the best thing about it is the closeness with your family, and the worst thing about it is just not having the space and size. Other highlights of living in a camper are the cost. So, of course, while we were completely off-grid, there was not much cost except for gas, which actually gas was kind of expensive. But no electricity, nothing like that. Well, now we are tapped into some electricity up front because we're going to be building our house and my work office. The electricity bill has only been high 1 month, but during the spring we were able to keep it off and keep the doors and windows open with the screens, and that was great because we had like the lowest electricity bill we've ever seen. And now that we're basically in fall almost, it's going to be the same, I believe. So I'm looking forward to really low bills. But even in the summertime, the bill has not been as high as what it would have been at a house. And that's even with like, you don't have good insulation, but you just don't have to run the air like you do, and you're running propane. So there's another benefit, okay? We have had times where the electricity did go out due to like stormy weather or like working on things up here, like digging trenches and like just having to cut off power. And while doing that, we still had propane to cook. That was great. Those would be the benefits also. The bad things would be that when your camper breaks, you have to move your whole house or either just don't get it fixed. When we were off grid, the refrigerator stopped working, and even though we were just hooked up to a generator to keep things cool, that was a big need. So we had to secure things and haul the whole camper in. Oh, that was kind of a nightmare. We've also had the awning break, and so our nice place with shade we were using is no longer here, and we haven't gone in to get that repaired because it's just not worth packing up the whole camper for. Another bad thing about living in a camper is bugs, like mosquitoes, get in really easily because there's just not good tight insulation. Like where the windows open, there's a little knob that sticks through the screen and there's a hole around it and things can fly through. So that's been annoying. We did have an ant infestation also, and I have a kid allergic to fire ants, so that was kind of a nightmare. It got dealt with, but it's not good that things can get in a camper so easily. Those would be the worst things. So has living in a camper for a year been worth it? Yes, 100%. I love the homestead, and one day we're going to have a beautiful house.